Almost 2 hours. Okay. We are live on YouTube. Okay. So we are on 48th day or today?
47th.
47th day. Okay, good. 48 days is a very, very auspicious day for somebody who is creating a habit every day. Okay. So whenever we have to, when we do the destiny, there's another method of finding the destiny is doing the leaf. It's called life journey session. The life journey session is based on my experience with the Nadi readings, which I never trusted. 20 years back, when I was 20, my mother told me to do it. And I said, no, what nonsense. But I finally did the Nadi reading after 60 because one very senior doctor came and said, you have to do it. Because the way you're talking, what you're teaching all over the world, it is absolutely related to this leaf reading, destiny, what you're creating for everybody. And so that leaf reading, I was at 60, now I'm 73. Thousands of leaf reading, I've got it done. I will not get anything done till I trust. 100% I need to trust and have faith in the system. And it should be honest and truthful. And you should have the right person and right family from where all these leaves are descending. So at the age of 60, when I did, I was quite surprised. And when they told me, I already knew what my life is, right? When that leaf told me, see, when you go for Nadi reading, you need to have only the thumbprint. You don't tell them who you are. You don't even send the information directly because they will know the email, they know the name, everything. We send it as a number indirectly through one. So such and such a person has this thumbprint. Okay. So we have to find out the leaf reading on it. What? At that time, it was all Greek and Latin. Let me tell you, from when the soul goes from one life to another life, it has already decided that it wants to go to another body. It did not complete something in this life. It made some sort of mistake. A very interesting story, listen to it. Made some sort of wrongdoing, and then they realize that they have done that was wrong, and they start working towards correcting, working towards that forgiveness process, which by doing some services, which does not conclude in that life. And plus, they were not in the state to complete their unique purpose. Okay. So then they decide that we have to take birth. So when they take birth, the only thing which is common from previous life to this life is the thumbprint. The thumbprint is an actual identification of the soul. Because it's going into another body, another genetics, another everything. And the second thing is the sound. Ka, for example. Ra, for me, Ramesh, So there is a sound, Ramesh. So there will be something similar. So the sound and this go. So sound is very important of that. So the way to identify the soul is they want the thumbprint. And they take the thumbprint and then they start matching. Then they call you for identifying. They will have 108 soul bundles. There are 108 soul groups. Which group do you belong to? So that thumbprint tells that you belong to this group. Then they will have to they have to open each leaf. And when they want to open each leaf, there are certain questions on the leaf to identify. So they will ask you a question. And you would say yes and no. You can't give any other answer, only yes or no. So that means you're not helping them in any way. by sharing information from your side. It's yes or no. They ask a question, yes. If it's no, it's no. You will be surprised. They figure out your mother's name, father's name, how many siblings you have, what's your wife's name, what's your children, everything they figure out. What time you were born, when you were born, what was the stars. You don't share any astrology to them. They will tell exactly what it is for you. My mother didn't have the exact time when I was born. But this leaf reading told me exactly when I was born, because I will be born in a certain configuration of the planets and stars, which is necessary for my birth. Because it activates those aspects needed to continue my work from the previous life. And this whole leaf, the journey of this leaf is written by you in the previous life. It's your decision. So this, I always tell you, don't just think, don't just say, right. Now understand resolve form. So this is actually written. So nobody can make up this information. And the person who reads is only a reader, not a predictor, not an astrologer. Maybe he has astrology. He only reads. Finally, when he comes and tells you, you were born at this time, your time was this, father's name is this, mother's name is this is many children you have, this is your wife's name, they will finally find that leaf. Sometimes the questions are repetitive as we go. And I still remember when I did my daughters, nobody wanted the leaf reading. Nobody wants to learn about their future. They're frightened. I did it. And then I asked my daughter, and my younger daughter said yes. Nikhila. We did her reading. It was, and when they, after the identification, they go to the second, they read the whole leaf and translate it from that colloquial language and to us. And what they told about me was so perfect. They also told me when at the age of 60, it was written there because, that you will have a serious, almost death situation. When I had dengue, I was in the intensive care. I was bleeding away. It's written there. And what all I have done, it was written there. They also find out what is the mistake in the past life, or what are the reasons in the past life for which you took birth again. Fascinating past life story. I'm talking to you about destiny here today. So they said, you were also a teacher in the previous life. And you had a lot of people who are following you. And those are the people who are coming also for Nadi reading. And the many people who are now with you have been with you in the previous life trying to learn. The thing is not complete. Okay. And they said the reason I am born, I was a teacher. So I'm here also, I'm a teacher. I was a wise teacher. Spiritual teacher. It was also written that I'm a doctor in that leaf. I had never told them. In the previous life, they said, besides being a teacher, you were in love with a girl. And you wanted to marry her and she wanted to marry you. But you deserted her and married what your parents told. And she actually, because she was from, and where I was born, what was my father's name in the previous life? What's my mother's name? What all I did? So because I deserted her, I was reborn again, and I would only be successful if I married the person whom I loved. So that's another story of destiny. I will tell you really what happened. Okay. At the same time, all my teachers, I had become arrogant and egoistic, and I stopped listening to what my teachers were advising me. In this life, I'm absolutely opposite, humble, down to earth, no arrogance. So they also said, till he doesn't start respecting everything, he will not be successful. So when you see online people talking against the pharmaceutical industry, against the medical, against this, against that, I don't do that. I respect everything. I integrate everything. And I do not try to find fault. I don't say this is good, that is bad. Okay. So the purpose was to come to humility from ego, marry the person whom, fulfill a commitment once you have given a commitment. I committed to her and I didn't marry. And most of my knowledge is already awakened inside. The Guru is awakened inside me. All this was written. And what will happen in the future, whatever they told, written there, was exactly what I was designing, my blueprint for the future. They talk of the future also. And then there are many things in the destiny. This is, this second opportunity to get this reading is given only to those people who create a new window of opportunity and they have written it in the previous life. So there's certain level of maturity when I do the Nadi reading. Some people, the Nadi reading happens at 18. Some happens at 20. In mine, happened at 60. And there, the window of opportunity and why all this information is given for you to rewrite your destiny. To rewrite your destiny. Okay. And so once you know what is you have written from the previous life, you are the one who can rewrite it and say, this is what I want it to be. If you want to speed up something, speed up. If something wrong is happening, I want to prevent that. And that's what is remedies. So for the life journey mantra, you remember that girl, Dhamika something, which I activated her name and I told her name is the root mantra and she has to talk to herself. So everybody, us, our root mantra which activates, that's the sound which came along with the soul, is that name. So your name is the one which energizes and gives nourishment to your soul, and your soul wants to hear it from this body's voice. We never talk about ourselves. If it is Kamal, let's go. Kamal, let's do. Kamal has to talk to himself saying, Kamal, let's go. Let's go and eat. Let's go and have a bath. That's a self-talk. And the voice has to be heard, not silent. Kamal. Soul wants to hear you saying Kamal. I'm taking Kamal, my young friend. So we have to activate. So 48 days. The story started with 48 days. Remember 48 days tomorrow. So 48 days I have to work with their mantra. I will activate their name, but afterwards I will activate their mantra. So after the reading, I actually initiate the mantra for them. The initiation is not done by me. It's a self-initiation process for them to activate their mantra themselves. It's so powerful. It changes the whole body in that real time. Now this, the Nadi people don't do. This, I do. This was my realization, my understanding. And it's really working. And then they give a solution of which temples to go to for correcting it. So I will do it for them. Plus, I will create a copper plate which is embedded with their particular mantra, which I activate on the day they finish the reading. And then that mantra is put into either a silver or gold pendant and given after 48 days. For 48 days, I have to recite the mantra for it to be imprinted on the copper plate. So my voice is what is being told to do. For example, they will do with the Pandit. The Pandit doesn't even know. But you know me, right? I know you. So we do the remedies for them in absentia in the 48 days. And not only that, they only send you some vibhuti or something like that. We send you something more. We send you 2 thermoses. In one, you fill water. That body is 70% water. You have to drink water, in which that flask is programmed to create the type of water which is required for your corrections, for your remedies, for your empowerment. And another bottle is given, flask, in which you put oil, the oil you like to eat with. So these are the 2 levels at which we do. Now, why is it oil? Remember, you take rose petals and you do that process. Finally, what comes out of the rose petal is oil, the essence, which has a smell. It's an oil. Rose oil, jasmine oil, clove oil, that's the essence. So when you boil it and vaporize and then again condense it, it comes into that oil. That is the essence. So your essence is oil. So we want you to use the cooking oil so that you can apply on the body. You can apply, eat it with that, use it as medicine for everything of your problem. So that solution also we give you. That is the third. Okay. Then afterwards, they are told to go to the temples, wherever it is, maybe different parts of the world. And you have to go and stand in front of that vortex. So whatever dent or defect is there in your vortex, when you stand in front, the powerful vortex of that center, power center, or the church, or the temple, or the mosque is so fast that you start resonating with it. And in that resonance, your vortex starts moving fast and it corrects the dents. I found that when we went to the temples and the church and the mosque, it was quite a tedious process to do it. It was tiring. And 100% focus is not given by the priest or whoever it is. He cannot. He's just doing it mechanically. What's your name? What's your gotra? But there's a way to look into the eyes of that idol or the shrine. The way to look into Mother Mary in the church, into her eyes, how it is done. So those processes all I figured out after doing thousands of readings for people. And then I created a online life journey solution. What was life journey readings and remedies created in absentia? Then I started doing online. In online, you didn't have to wait to go to the temples. You could do it immediately. And they would come on that event. I didn't realize it is so powerful that we would astrally travel through that plasma field I'm talking to you, to that city, do all the processes. It's really happening online, virtually. And as if you feel you're really there. That's what I learned from that. So I would do sometimes 9 temples, 10 temples, I would do. And then whatever they had to practice, I would talk to them. That is almost a 1.5 to 2 hour process. And it's so transformative. For me, how do I know? Because of what they share. I'm not telling you this is going to happen. It's happening because they want it to happen. They don't even know what experience you're supposed to have at that temple. And it's amazing. Or that church, or the mosque. So all this resulted. So something is telling me, prompting, something is blossoming out of me that you have to do this reading. How did I know I have to do the reading, even though I've never believed all these things? It was that doctor, senior doctor, who told me, Ramesh, what you're teaching, you're not supposed to go. That's where it is. What you're talking about, without even knowing you're talking about all these things. And that's when I went and did. And I was telling you about Nicholas. Everything was perfect in Nicholas. They asked, is everything okay? I said, but you only said Nikhila Ramesh. There is a middle name. Nobody talked of the middle name during this whole process. Oh, sir, then this leaf is not hers. And they went back again and called us again after they found the leaf, and then they did it, in which the middle name they had to find out that. We didn't tell them. They found out second time. So they are so this thing. So you need to give it a reader who really is genuine, honest, sincere, and says that this is wrong. If you can't find something, it's wrong. And the second time when they did, they found the leaf in which her middle portion was there, Nikhila Tarini Ramesh. And the description of what she is was exactly what she is. Okay, but I don't do the life journey solutions till they do not find out what is wrong, what is to be corrected. So I have to help them rewrite the destiny, and the rewriting destiny happens during the remedy, which I do online. Was that destiny story interesting? Did you all enjoy that? That's true. So be open to everything, please. Take the risk. Don't let your mind control you. Because I had resisted for 20, 30 years. At the age of 20, and I did it 60. That means 40 years. My mother told me. I said, what, mama? You're going and telling everything to them and they're just repeating back. And you're so naive. But it was not that. And I understood. Now I understand the science in such depth. I was being given opportunity to do it myself. And then figure out this method of online remedies. So now people don't have to travel. They can get it immediately. Then I also tell them, when you travel and come to Kumbakonam, if we are there, whatever you have spent here will be used for you there also. So you just have to pay for the hotel and the rest will be free. Hotel, food, whatever it is, the taxis and the transportation, that's it. Okay. So this is what is part of the destiny story. When you do the story, if we feel you need to do this, we will suggest it, but that is your choice. It's not mandatory. Only if we feel it is required. Okay. Place your hands on the heart. Focus. Fix your focus of the attention. Bring your all-knowing awareness. Start breathing. Fall into the silence. I, your name, Ramesh, dissolve all that is holding me from being holistic, healthy, holistic, wealthy, holistic, wise. Oh. Move your toes, move your fingers, wipe your hands, cover your face. Open, close 3 times, your eyes open, separate. Perfect. You know the drill. You have to write your well-being status before, after. You have to give whatever you experience, you have to write one word after that. And all those who are in YouTube, like, subscribe, follow, share, notify. If there's a heart calling for doing something, do that also. Okay? Yes. I go to Dolgor. Dolgor, do you have to ask me something? You should share it in English also. Okay. So get this thing off, please. Translation. And tell us when she can start speaking in English. She's already told in Mongolian.
Та нартайгаа хуваалцсан. Англиар, монголоор хоёулангаар нь яриад байгаа гэж байна багш.
Now, English. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody to listen your experience.
I
And you
remember
can tell
that-
where you are, what it is. Yes.
Yes, I remember that 3 years ago, when I was in Dubai visiting my teacher, first time, it was 2020, so not 3 years ago. No, not 20, 3 years ago, 2023. 2023. When I was in Dubai, I had my life journey reading and sitting just in balcony of my teacher, and then just in front of the computer, and this person was speaking in different language, and there was a translator from that language to English. And so it was really interesting that how they found my father's name, mother's name, my name, even my ex-husband's name, and my current husband and children and everyone. So I had no choice not to believe them, because I never gave them every single person's names. And so, and then they said everyone's names. And then, like, for example, they would give us like 5 letters. Is there the first letter of your father? Is there? I said yes, because it's B. And then they showed us bunch of showed me a bunch of letters. Is there a second letter? Such and such. So they said Bat, which is the 3 letters of my father's first syllable. And then they said Bat Cholong. Well, come on. In Mongolian language, starting with Bat, Bat Erden, Bat Tolk, it could be anyone. But they said Bat Cholong. How? I was really surprised. And so that's how they got my father's, mother's, my husband's, children's, everyone's names. So that was really interesting. За тэгэхээр саяхан ярьсныг би та нартай орчуулад хэлээд өгье. Манай ээж аав өөрийн нэр, бүр салсан нөхрийн нэр, одоогийн нөхрийн нэр, хүүхдүүдийн нэр бүгдийг ингээ хэлээ явчихсан. Тэгээ би үнэхээр гайхсан. Үгүй яаж хэлж яана гэдгийг үнэхээр гайхсан. Яг гэвэл ингэж хэлдэг юм бэлээ. Бага үсэг үзүүлээд энэ дотроос аав чинь нэрний эхний үсэг байна уу гэсэн. Би байна гэсэн. Тэгээ бага үсэг үзүүлээд энд 2 дахь нь байна уу, 3 дахь нь байна уу гэд. Ингэж эхний 3 үсгийг хэлсэн баггүй. Батчлон гэд манай аав. Бат гэд ингээ хэлэхгүй юу. Тэгсэн чинь Батчлон гэж хэлсэн шүү дээ. Тэгээ би өөр гайхаад үгүй ч Батаар гэсэн Бат ирдэн Бат тулга гэд баахан нэр байхад яаж миний аавын нэрийг Батчлон гэж хэлж яана гэж би үнэхээр гайхсан. Тэгээд яг энэ югаар журмаар ингээд бүх хүмүүсийн нэрийг хэлсэн байгаа. So the second, what they said was, of course, you know, what I do in this lifetime and everything. So that was just spot on. Everything. I have a business, massage business in America. I teach yoga, and everything else what I do here, they said. And so that was spot on. So I had no choice not to believe in them. So of course they said everything, whatever happened in my past life, which I lived in Malaysia. I immigrated when I was 30 years old to Scotland. And then when I was in Scotland, I did health business. I was an immigrant there. I had a health business. When I was 97 years old, I was in a hospital bed, waiting for my last day of my lifetime. And then I had this regret that I couldn't help with my employees in Malaysia. Because when I was in Malaysia, I was married to this Muslim guy whose name is Mohammed something. And then we had this agricultural business, very successful business. But at that time, there was in Malaysia really difficult contagious disease that we lost 80% of our employees. So we couldn't continue the business. So I left the business. I left my husband because I didn't like the Muslim tradition, obviously. And then I went to Scotland by myself. And so, and then that's why I regretted, or I had this regret that I couldn't help my employees. And that's why my soul somehow traveled to Mongolia and then found my mom's womb. And I was born in Mongolia. I came to the States when I was 30 years old, exactly in my past life. When I was 30 years old, I came to Scotland. In America when I was 30 years old, in this lifetime. And then now I have health business. Interesting. And then they said, the next 10 years, whatever is going to happen. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And I did last January when I was in Dubai, I had my teacher, Ramesh teacher, to do my remedy.
Yeah.
And we did it. We sat together and then my teacher did it. And that could prevent whatever is going to happen to my mom's health and my husband's health and my business and everything. I truly believe in that because they said, I'm so happy, lucky person. They kept saying how lucky I am that during the live reading. I said, why? Why am I lucky? Because you found your soul, you found your spiritual teacher. I said, who is it? Can I tell you the names? And then they said, yes. Is it Dr. Sigo Krishna Ramesh? They said, yes. So obviously, Ramesh teacher was my spiritual teacher in my past life. And then we found each other in this lifetime as well. So of course, my teacher is the only person who would do the remedies for me. So I truly believe in that. In Mongolia.
One thing. See, this is so strange that it is written in the leaf, my name. And these people who are doing the reading for her don't know me. There's not one, there are many readers. And they don't even know who this Dr. Ramesh is. But it's written there and then she confirms it. There's so many things. In so many people's Nadi leaf, my name comes in. And I don't know those people. Somebody from Austria, somebody from this place, that I am supposed to be their teacher. How is it possible? So I know who I am because of my Nadi reading. I have also done my spiritual Nadi reading. So, but I cannot declare who I am.
Right.
Okay, continue.
За тэгэхээр сая ярьсныгаа яриа л да баахан англиар ханаас ярьчлаа. Тэгээ нэрнүүд олж мэдээд тэгээд дараа нь энэ амьдралд юу хийдгийг бүгдийг хэлсэн. За массаж хийдэг, Америкт амьдардаг тий. Тэгээд одоо ийм маш юутай амжилттай эрүүл мэндийн бизнестэй, 2 хүүхэдтэй, нөхөртөөгөө ингэж амьдардаг. 2 хүүхэд чинь тийм нэртэй, тэдэн настай. Ийм гэл ингээл ерөөсө бүгдийн нөхрийн хийдэг ажил мэл бүгдийг хэлээ тавьсан. Тэгэхээр чи би яаж итгэхгүй байх юм бэ? Чи ямар сони юм бэ гэд. Тэгээд ингээд би энэ талаар юу ч би багшд чи яриаггүй шүү дээ. Хин ч мэдгүй энийг. Тэгээд байж тал тэр хүмүүс миний өнгөрсөн амьдралыг яриа. За би өнгөрсөн амьдралдаа хаана амьдарч байгаа гэхээр Малайзд амьдарч байжээ. Малайзд нэг тийм муслим шашинтай хүнтэй амьдардаг байжээ. Нөхөртэй суудсан, аваа нөхөр байж, хүүхэдгүй байж. Тэгээд байжсэн ийм нэг амжилттай юм бизнестэй, хөдөө аж ахуйн бизнестэй үйлдвэртэй байж. Тэгээ байжсэн чинь яг тэр үед Малайзад нэг тийм аюултай юм өвчин гараад, тахал гараад тэгээд би манай ажилчдын 80% нь бүр тэнд ингээд нас бараад эмнэлгийн экзамен тодорхой юу хөгжилт биш байсан учраас амгаах хөгжилттэй биш байсан мэл да тэр үед Малайзад. Тэгээ би ажиллаа хаяад би тэр одоо ислам шашны тэр одоо тэр авгаатайгаа харьцдаг марцдаг тэр чанар надад их таалагддаг байсан болохоор нөхрийгээ хаяад шууд цухтаад Шотланд руу цагаачлаагаараа явсан байна. 30 настай байхдаа. Тэгээ Шотландд очиод Яаж хийж байгаад эрүүл мэндийн бизнестэй болоод эмээ ургамал ингэж буцалгаж ингэж хүмүүс заадаг бас массаж хийдэг. Тэгэд одоо энерги ажил хийдэг, ийм ажил хийж байгаад 97 онд хүүхэдгүй байсан байлээ би. Тэгээд яг нэг хүнтэй суугаад нөгөө хүн маань өнгөрч гисэн юм байна. Тэгээ 97 настай байхдаа би ингээд эмнэлгийн орон дээр ганцаархнаа ингээд нас урах гээд ингээд хөвтөжсэн байгаа. Яг амьдралынхаа сүүлчийн өдрийг хүлээгээд ингээд хөвтөжсэн. Тэгээд ингээд хөвтөж байхдаа би нэг л юмд харамссан тэр үед. Би нөгөө Малайзд байхдаа би нөгөө ажилчдтайгаа их гоё юм юутай харилцаатай байсан. Тэр хүмүүсээ би тусалж чадаагүй дээ. Би энд Шотланд хүмүүст би зөндөө тусалсан. Гэхдээ би Малайзд байгаа тэр хүмүүстэй би ах トゥ хамаатан саландаа би тусалж чадаагүй гэдэгтээ би маш их харамсаж нас орсон юм байна. Тэнгүүд миний сүнс ингэж юу яаж аялж ингэж явж байгаад Монголд очиод ээжийн хөвлийг олоод төрөөд ингээд би монгол хүн болоод төрчихжээ. Тэгээд монгол хүн болж төрчөөд Монголдо багшлаад ингээд явж исэн. Тэгээд нэг орхиг сургууль багшлаад ингээд багшлаад явж байгаад гинт нэг л өдөр надаа Америкт байдаг миний нэг каз над руу яриа чи Америкт ирэх үү гэж дуудаад тэгээд би Америкт 30 настай байхдаа Америкт ирсэн. Тэгэхээр яг урд насндаа 30 настайдаа Шотланд ирсэн шиг энд бас 30 настайдаа Америкт ирсэн ба. Тэгээ ирчээд одоо би эрүүл мэндийн бизнес хийдэг. Их сонирн байгаас эрүүл мэндийн бизнес хийгээ яг би Шотланд хийжсэн ажлаа би үргэлжлүүлээ хийж гэнэ гэсэн. Тэгээ эрүүл мэндийн бизнес хийгээд ингээд одоо явж байгаа. Бизнесээ маш амжилттай явж байгаа. Тэгээд би багштайгаа танилцсан. Тэгэхээр нөгөө юун дээр нарны бичсэн дээр чи өстой азтайгүй юм аа гэж дахин хэлээц. Яагаад би азтай гэж гисэн чинь чи урд нь байсан юу чиний багш байсан хүнийг чи олчихсан юм байна шүү дээ. Хин гэд би нэрийг хэлэх үү мөн үү биш үү хинбэ гэдгсэн чинь нэрийг хэлгээ. Тэгээ би багшийн нэрийг доктор K Ramesh мөн үү гэсэн чинь мөн гэдгсэн шүү дээ. Айгуу сайн. Тэгээ миний урд наснд байсан багш. Тийм учраас бид хоёр чи ийм хурдан хоорондоо их ойлголцож ингэж одоо явж байгаа юм байна штэ гэж ингэж би мэдсэн. Ингээд багш маань миний өнгөрсөн нэг сард одоо байд очиход одоо миний заслыг хийж гисэн. Тэгээд одоо багштай итгэлгүй яах вэ? Мэдээж миний урд наснд одоо багшилж ирсэн хүн маань энэ насандаа ингээд би нэг олцсон байгаадаа би маш их баяртай байдаг. Өстой сайн.
Good. Put a translation mode. I want to tell something which you can simultaneously translate and then we will finish. Okay. It's quite amazing. You know, if you want things to unfold in yourself, you should have no doubts. You should be thoughtless, doubtless, and you become fearless. You also become stressless, diseaseless, and when there's no disease and no pain, there is no fear. So you have the ability to take a risk into the unknown. Now, what is the Nadi world was unknown for me. And as I went in, it started teaching me. As I started trusting this system, it started teaching me. Gave me so much of understanding. And that was one of the purposes is for me to create that online remedies, which is similar to telepathy. So everybody has the capacity to telepathy. Understood? So then once you open up, everything will open up. All the doors in the darkness will open up for you for your learning. But you have to take the step. You have to take the step into the unknown. And you're limiting yourself with your limited knowledge and understanding how it's possible, how it is this. You're always, so never come to a conclusion, never, judge. Be always open to receive, and that's how you will grow. Okay, that's it. Any other question? Sunil, no questions, right? Anywhere?
No, sir.
Okay. So wonderful. So we'll call it a day. We'll see you tomorrow. Sunil, tell me, tomorrow there is no jumpstart, right?
No, sir. Sunday we have Spiritual Vertex Awakening. You can announce that.
Yeah. Okay. So now on Sunday, see, people, how do we bring in people into the system? Just try to understand. Okay. First of all, you have to develop a trust. People are going through problems. We have to give them an experience of how they feel without the problems they're going through. That is called freedom awakening. And once you awaken that freedom aspect and you realized it, then you say, oh my God, it feels, I need to, which are the areas which have got a problem? I need to have freedom in those areas. Personal life, professional life, purpose life, marriage life, so many things are there. There's a blueprint. We take you through the blueprint questionnaires and there you have to tick. That's called blueprint awakening. And the moment you tick, the process starts. The let go process starts and the freedom starts coming. That's called blueprint awakening. And you should really know which are the areas of life you need to transform and change. And that's what we do in blueprint. And having done that, then people come and join the Jumpstart program. And in the Jumpstart, which are the areas which are having a problem means those areas the healing system is not working. Well-being system is not working. So we do the Jumpstart weekly with all the areas, and that's when we fill the Evolve, all the forms in the Evolve app. And we customize this and we jumpstart at different levels. Now, once having jump-started, it has to, if you want to go into the next step, that is called the rebirth or retune process. It's a rebirth means normally a baby takes 9 months. We want you to take rebirth without all the patterns and all the baggage which you had. And that's 9 to 12 months. That is when many people come to, when there is done for you, in which I do a lot of things for each of you, they come to Dubai for that program. Okay. And so you go into the weekly, the 5 days a week, the retune process in which you understand how to use tools. So before that process of entering, there's an intermediary phase. We have to prepare you. And that is called, first of all, we have to raise the consciousness of yours above the environmental consciousness, cultural consciousness, religious consciousness, which is your belief, which is holding you back from success. So we have to take you to higher level of consciousness, and that's called raising consciousness. That's the first step. It takes hardly 20 minutes because you are doing the process yourself. I'm guiding you. Then the second thing which is required is you should be happy in order to be able to do anything, able to manifest. Like the rebirth. You want to be the true you, for example. So for that, you need to be happy. So what is missing? The first one was outside environment is holding you back. Your unhappiness in your body is holding you back. So it has to be happy. And then from there we go down. Now, all this life, since the birth till now, you've developed a personality, you've collected, I should do this, I should not do this, all those type of things, memories, good memories, bad memories, everything is collected on top of your spiritual vortex, which is in the heart, which is also holding you back. And the spiritual vortex, basically with all this dust of these memories, which is recent, the vortex has slowed down, which is holding you back. We need to speed up the vortex. That's called spiritual vortex awakening. It's just like a fan. You know, when you don't use the fan for a long time, there's dust on the blades. And the moment you switch it on, all the dust is thrown away. Same way, the spiritual vortex awakening, we throw away all those things which are holding you back from the time of birth or from the time of conception. So then you are ready to actually do the process. That spiritual vortex awakening is plus all the 3 exercises are happening on this Sunday. So if you want to join that, you're welcome to join that. So the details of it will come to all of you. You might receive an email or it'll come in Facebook somewhere and you go ahead and do it. If it is something you want to do, and if something is holding you back from doing it, please don't do it. And then we come into the retune process, which I'll talk to you tomorrow, if you want to know. Okay, that's it. We are done for today. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.